What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James. We in these streets, early morning streets. We in these credit union streets. I misplaced my damn wallet, man. And now I gotta go to the bank. Don't y'all, ain't that like the worst of y'all? Since my bank ain't too far from my job, I like to have a stroll. But don't y'all get mad or don't it trip y'all out when y'all lose something and it's like in the house and you know it's there, but you can't find it. You have no clue where it's at. That old age is kicking in along with that short-term memory loss. I don't have a clue where it's at, and I know it's in the house. Like, I 100% know it's in the house. So send a prayer for me so I can find that wallet, because I need to make some daggone moves. But anyway, quick video. We did the series with the offense and the defense, and we still got quarterback left. I'm waiting on that one, though. But I just want to drop a quick video because that interview, Brian Schottenheimer, Schotty, and Stephen Jones had some things to say yesterday. And so this was particularly talking about the draft. So I got the clip. It's about 2 minutes and 35 seconds. It'll be after this video. Please watch it, and you give me your thoughts about what do you think is really going to happen in this draft for free agency. Because listening to both of them, these are my thoughts. So I seen where Stephen Jones said, hey, we like our defensive ends. We like Parsons. We like Fowler. We like Nealon. We like Williams. But if there's any point in the draft that we can add a pass rusher, we're going to do it. If we see the talent, then we're going to do it. Then he says, nextly, hey, we love our receiver room. We love our receiver room. That's all I had to hear. We love our receiver room. That lets me know they're going to be leaning on Mingo and they're going to be leaning on Flournoy. Because Schotty talks about him as well. So he said we really love our receiver room, which we know Stephen Jones was going to do and say that when they got Mingo, because they used the force. So he's going to say those things to justify it. But he goes, well, we lost Brandon Cooks. So we're always looking at free agency. That's what they always say. We're always looking at free agency. We're always going to be, if we sign anything, we're always going to keep looking. Okay, whatever. So he says that, and then he says, and we're going to still want to add an explosive number 2. Also talks about the draft with running backs. A lot of good running backs. Better than most. So we definitely want to add a young running back. So I hear you're going to add a running back this year, for sure. Hopefully you don't wait till the 6th round, Deuce Vaughn. And you want to get an explosive receiver. Okay. I don't know if that's Ted McMillan, though. That's Matthew Golden. That's explosive. Running back. That could be Genty if he's there. I don't want that. There's other guys you can build. I told you trade back, but you need another 4th round pick, dog. Just think about if you didn't get back in the 4th and got Cooper Beebe. Just think about that. Or you jump back in the 4th and got that pick. Just think. That's a big gap. 75 picks, man, to go on where you want. So then I listened to the interview with Schottenheimer. He basically echoed the same thing. All I kept on hearing out of Schottenheimer's mouth was BPA. We want to get up on this free agency. We're not done in free agency, but we want to. That's why I feel like they jumped on it early. Got those guys signed early. 21 guys. Got them signed early so they could go in this draft with BPA. Then I heard Schottenheimer say, I like to build my team from the outside in. I thought it was inside out, but I don't coach in the NFL, so what do I know? He said outside in. Guys who can win one-on-one matchups, receivers, corners, tackles, pass rushers. Okay. And then when I heard him talk about the number 2 receiver, he said, let's talk about Tolbert. But I didn't hear him being high on Tolbert. I heard him say he had career numbers and he was a touchdown machine. But I didn't hear him being high on Tolbert But I heard him saying we got Mingo and Flournoy, and at some point we got to develop those guys and get those guys where they need to be. So I'm going to let you listen to his little interview. I'm going to post what Stephen Jones says, and you tell me what that means to you. BPA, that's what I hear, but I also heard outside in you want to build your team and people who can win one-on-one matchups, pass rushers who can get sacks, turnovers. So I don't know if they just met that dude who went crazy in that combine and they should have had a handshake, and oh Lord, we'll see. But that's just kind of my thoughts on it. I'm going to let you read it and hear for yourself. But I heard one-on-one matchups. I heard winning one-on-one matchups. I heard receiver, defensive backs, tackles, edge rushers. I heard you need an explosive number 2, and we need to develop Mingo and Flournoy. And then I heard let's get a back and BPA. So you tell me what you think about that in this video after I drop it, and let me know what's going on. All right, Big Game James, I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, again, the starting point would be best player available. You know, you're always looking for game changers when you're picking 12. Like, we don't want to ever pick 12th again. All right, let's be honest. We don't want to pick that high. But you're looking for guys that influence the game. How do you influence the game? You rush the quarterback and you get sacks, strip sacks, fumbles, whatever it is. You score touchdowns, okay? So those are usually, I look at it this way, you build it from the outside in. So you got corners, receivers, they get isolated one-on-one. Pass rushers, tackles, they get isolated one-on-one. And then obviously the quarterback position. But usually that's the way I've looked at it, is when you're building a roster, kind of think of it from building it from outside in based on guys that get isolated a lot. Because when you're isolated and you can't help, it's a pretty daunting task sometimes. The thought was, let's get into the draft where we can take the best player available. In my opinion, that's the best way to go. And I think, you know, talking to Steven and Jerry and Will, like, by making some of the moves that we've made, we feel like, yeah, we're not done. We still have things that we want to do, but like when you get into the draft and you're sitting there at those certain spots, you know, the scouts have done an incredible job. I've said it to them, I've said it to you guys. The scouts and the personnel guys, they're the experts. They do this 365 days a year. It's our job as a coaching staff to present to them, here's what we want, here's what we're looking for, and then the conversations at the combine were incredible. We had some really just awesome give and take about positions and the way you define a 3 technique or the way you define an offensive lineman or a tight end. But yeah, I feel like we go into this draft with a lot of confidence. Again, we're not done in free agency. We're always looking to acquire. We're always looking to compete in the personnel side of it. But I do feel like we've set ourselves up to go into the draft where, hey, we're sitting in certain spots. That's the guy's the best player available. Let's take it. Yeah. Again, CeeDee's an incredible player. Always looking to add depth at that room. Again, really proud of Jalen Tolbert. I've talked about him from the time we started talking about it 2 years ago when he was improving to now we talk about him as the leading receiver, touchdown-wise on our team. Along with finding guys and adding more pieces, it's our job as a staff to be a developmental staff. Right? We need to get these guys like Ryan Flournoy, Mingo to take the next step. We have to do that. That's our job. And so one of the things that we're working on right now is an improvement plan for each guy, okay? And, all right, so let's use Mingo, for example. These are the 2 or 3 things that, okay, hey, for Mingo to get to where we want him to go, he does these 3 things. It's not just those 3 things. It's what are the steps, the action plan to do those 3 things. And so that's what we're looking at now with our current players, because as you know, they come back here in 2 weeks. And so between developing those guys on the roster and always looking under every corner to add some speed and some more playmaking skills, we're always looking to do that.
Where's Dak?